Wow. Oh my God. Bob Arum says that Teofimo fired his nutritionist, was weight drained, and nearly DIED'd after his fight is lost to George Kambosos. We got to talk about it. And he doesn't know if Teofimo is coming back. Stay tuned to this video. You don't want to miss this one. It is the return of the greatest in boxing talk. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego. And I'm back with some more boxing. Oh, y'all don't want to miss this one. Make sure you guys come in and smash the like button. Now, Teofimo, he keeps posting like motivational tweets and, you know, plugged in every day. And this looks like an old picture. And he's saying he will reign again and stuff like that. We got to get into Mr. Bob Arum, who revealed his thoughts on Teofimo losing. So, without further ado, roll the clip.
Family.
Just a couple of weeks ago in New York, what a crazy scene it was when your guy, Teofimo Lopez, lost to George Kambosos, but it wasn't a top-ranked card, of course. It was under the Matchroom banner after the whole mess with Triller. When you see that happen, and you're not involved with it, and he's coming off that incredible win over Lomachenko and the mess of the past year, what happened? Like, does your heart break? What is your reaction when you see Teofimo Lopez lose like that?
For the record, that's Ariel Helwani, link in the description. And he's talking to Top Rank founder, Bob Arum.
Well, you know, he shouldn't have been in the fight. He was lucky he didn't get killed.
He shouldn't have been in the fight. Teofimo is lucky he didn't get KILLED. Wow. Now, I made videos about what Top Rank and Teofimo side is claiming about the trapped air in the lungs.
You know, I mean, there's no excuse.
He said there's no excuse and then continues to keep talking about it.
But they didn't take weight off properly.
Bob Arum says that Teofimo's side didn't cut weight. Now, I told you guys that I thought Teofimo was weight drained and looked weight drained. The great Ego Stradamus strikes again. The best in YouTube boxing history right here. I told you. You guys said I was hating and I didn't know what I was talking about and Kambosos was going to lose.
I mean, there's no excuse, but they didn't take weight off properly. His esophagus blew up.
His esophagus? Why? What? Bro, listen, I'm not trying to laugh if this is true, but he said his esophagus blew. Like, what is going on, bro? Like, I think Teo lost, but this is sounding pretty hectic. Like, this sounds like he was in an ER room, not a fight. He says his esophagus blew up. Wow, man.
Properly, his esophagus blew up. The doctors, he was in the hospital afterwards for 4 or 5 days, and the doctors said that if he had taken a real tough shot to the lungs, he would have died. So, I mean, that's, to me, is inexcusable. Inexcusable. I mean, Eddie was putting the fight on. He was the promoter. He had no background with Teofimo. We would have spotted it right away and pulled him out of the fight.
Now, see, I can't stand for that. Like, I talk on my channel and certain things Eddie Hearn does, I give constructive criticism for that. But notice Top Rank, this is why it seems like damage control. Notice that Top Rank and Teofimo Jr. and Sr., they're blaming some kind of way DAZN for this situation, this fracas happening. And I don't think that's right, because if anything, Eddie Hearn in this situation should be praised, because he got the fight and resuscitated it when the whole Teofimo takeover and Triller looked to be FUBAR. So I don't think DAZN did anything wrong here, but for whatever reason, Eddie Hearn and DAZN continue to be blamed, as if they did something wrong in this situation for being the second bidder, and they put on the fight with no problems. Bob Arum is saying, hey, if that was us, we would have knew something was wrong with Teo. So you mean to tell me Teofimo, in one of the strictest commissions of any state, Nevada, the New York State Athletic Commission, he was allowed to fight with this pneumomediastinum and trap air in his lungs, and they didn't catch this in the medicals, and then now you're blaming it on Eddie Hearn and DAZN?
We would have spotted it, promoter. He had no background with Teofimo. We would have spotted it right away and pulled him out of the fight, because you can't risk your life just to make a payday and get a fight on.
Now, this, to me, this doesn't sit well with me, because this does not making sense. You said Teofimo cut weight wrong, and you expected Eddie Hearn to, even though him and his side put up the money and Teofimo's team didn't say anything, he's claiming that we would have, so I'm assuming Top Rank, they're saying they know Teofimo, but they're not qualified doctors. So how can Bob Arum or Christina Poncher or Tim Bradley or Carl Moretti or Todd DeBuff, how would they be able to make a medical claim that one of the strictest commissions in the world, the New York State Athletic Commission, clearly didn't see? And they're using this whole philosophy of, the fight should have never been able to commence. This is looking suspect, because how would Top Rank have noticed it and done anything different if they're not qualified doctors?
And this whole thing has been a perfect storm. Lomachenko, when he lost to Teofimo, apparently had a bad shoulder, which I didn't know about. And so his strategy was to, in effect, do very little for the first few rounds and just fight the back 6 rounds or the back 5 rounds of the fight. And he lost on points. Well, that's his fault, nobody else's fault. And I know that because 2 days after the fight, Dr. Neil Alatraj, the orthopedic surgeon, operated on his shoulder. So again, you had Lomachenko fighting Teofimo with a bad shoulder, and then Teofimo winning that fight, and then fighting Kambosos with a bad lung condition brought on by taking off the weight in an improper way.
So now he's saying that Teofimo had this trapped air pneumomediastinum from being weight drained. So that's his team, and they're not doing a good job, and he's been out the ring because he was Mr. Takeover, and he said my minimums are $5 million, next stop $20 million, and he didn't want to take what ESPN and Top Rank were offering for the Kambosos, a.k.a. his minimum that he agreed to at the time, and then they later amended it, and then he ended up being out the ring so long, and now we're talking about Teo had air, and it just seems really weird. The other thing that's highly questionable and sus to me is how many Top Rank fighters in big fights that they needed to win kind of after the fact, it's some kind of weird injury. Manny Pacquiao, the fight of the century with Floyd Mayweather. You got one opportunity to make this all make sense. Floyd Mayweather beats him handily. Pacquiao lands a career low of like 71 punches. And then, surprise, Pacquiao needs shoulder surgery. I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, my shoulder, it's up to my promoter, Bob Arum. Right? Lomachenko, he looks completely flat for 6 rounds, comes alive a little bit, but then loses the 12th round versus Teofimo. Miraculously, it's his shoulder. Teofimo, he loses to a 15-1 underdog, Kambosos, in his backyard after talking trash. And then guess what? He had trapped air in his lung. That's why it's like the boy who cried wolf. How many top-ranked fighters have losses or like these weird things come up? Even in training, when Wilder was trying to fight Tyson Fury kept buying time saying, oh, I'm not fighting Wilder. And then he got in the mediation, blah, blah, blah. And then he said he had the Rona and they had to push the fight back. So it's like, why does this keep happening with top-ranked fighters where either there's these weird hiccups that keep coming up and or fighters claiming injury after bad losses that they don't want to lose? That's why it looks like damage control.
I mean, he had nutritionists with him in all prior fights, and for some reason fired them. Maybe to save money. I don't know why.
I told you, the more Teofimo's team continues to talk, the worse it looks. Teofimo's team had a nutritionist. This is not an elite team, people. You know, Teofimo's team, according to Bob Arum, his promoter, his team had a nutritionist that they used in all the previous pro fights or whatever. They had a multi-fight like situation. And then for this fight with Kambosos, he fires him to possibly save money. So what kind of genius logic is this where your last 2 fights, you made more money than you ever have in your career? So why are you looking to save money and canning a guy who clearly is needed in the weight making category, strength and conditioning, and helping a nutritionist to get you the proper nutrition and food and count your macros or whatever you're doing, you know, and get protein in your body, which Bob Arum is now saying created trapped air in his lungs or whatever. Why does he need to save money? I mean, it just keeps getting worse for Teofimo. You made a career high payday in Lomachenko, and then you got your minimum increased in your second fight for beating Loma, but now you're making cuts to your team, which were obviously bad cuts because these are people that you clearly needed to make weight and arrive at the 135 pound
condition brought on by taking off the weight in an improper way.
So he admits, once again, Teo took off the weight in an improper way. But he fired his nutritionist?
I mean, he had nutritionists with him in all prior fights, and for some reason fired them, maybe to save money. I don't know why. And I think that was why he was so screwed up going into the fight. But it is what it is, you know. If they don't take care of themselves and they think they can win going in with serious injuries, that's on them, nobody else.
Do you think that there's a chance he never...
So he says, this is something to listen to. So he says he went in with a serious injury. So my question is this: why are you not suing if this is not damage control and this is 100% true and he almost lost his life because of this pneumomediastinum, then why are you not suing the New York State Athletic Commission, who negligently allowed Teofimo to nearly lose his life, and they didn't catch this air in his lung or whatever they're saying after he loses to Kambosos?
Serious injuries, that's on them, nobody else.
Do you think that there is a chance he never fights again because of this issue?
I have no idea. I've talked to him every day last week. This week, every day this week. And he's still not feeling well. And I hope that he recovers and gets the proper preparation if he decides to fight again. And of course, I would insist that he fight at a higher weight division, because no sense killing yourself making a weight that's going to really adversely affect you.
Also, there's a lot going on.
So as you guys can hear, it just sounds like a nightmare. Now the situation is Bob saying that he should have moved up and he needs to move up in weight. Tio, he can't make the weight. So why, if you're supposed to be an elite team that beat Lomachenko, and now they're saying he almost nearly lost his life and all this stuff, all these doctors and doctor's notes and things like that, why didn't the team arrive at this conclusion? Why did they let their fighter move up looking like this, coming off of that type of performance? How is this an elite professional team, of individuals? If you're leading your soldier, you're sending your soldier out to war, and it's not like he went to war and he stepped on a landmine or got shot and now he lost his leg or something. You're sending him into war wounded to begin with. How far is that soldier going to make it? You know what I mean? So it just seems like very, very unprofessional, whether you believe it or not, that all this stuff is coming out. He fired his strength and conditioning coach. Now he needs to move up in weight. And it makes you wonder. Teofimo was saying stuff like, oh, I'll fight Devin next. I'll fight Devin. So how is he saying these things if he can't even stick around in the division to settle the undisputed claim? Now it doesn't matter because he doesn't have the belts. But how is he shaking Bill Haney's hand and, saying he'll whoop and knock out Devin Haney if now we're saying he can't even stay at the weight class because he's far too big and it's a detriment to his health? You guys let me know in the comment section. I ain't got nothing to say. I said what I had to say. Smash the like button, subscribe. You dig. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.